Reincarnation of Jesus, Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall, and he explains it all.
There's snakes on the both sides of it, actually.
Oops.
Just click the
And forgot something. The snakes. The snakes, the devil, the contract, the Egyptian, always Egyptian. 9/11 is the Egyptian New Year. 322 is Iraq New Year. Persia, Iraq, Egypt, Jerusalem, Israel, they're all fighting against each other. It's over Jesus. And that's how it goes. Too bad. I don't care if you can't deal with it. You won't look it up. You won't find out. That's what it is. How much bullshit will you people put up with? Obama, related to the Queen of England. He does what she says. That's why he's there. Let's go see this. Eyes wide shut. You're in denial about the Queen. You're fooled. One of the greatest deceptions of modern times is that quaint little old Queen of England has no power and her role is purely ceremonial for tradition. The fact is her role has not changed at all, just most of the royal family's evil plans for world empire were hatched a long time ago in the old world. The British Empire is still going strong. Her common ancestors are in control of the US and the New World Order. Now Her Majesty can sit back in her palace, relax and watch the world fall to bits while the media paints a warm fuzzy picture of this family who are in fact Nazi Germans. That's for fact. The Queen is still head of state and meets with important leaders all around the world. That's why Obama was terrified of her when he toasted her and she wouldn't even respond, and that's why he flubbed it or something like that not that long ago. One would assume they don't talk about knitting her pet corgis. Each day she receives documents and reports from government ministers and Commonwealth officials. They must all be read and, if necessary, signed, so she's well aware of her country's current affairs and all the people that are starving. She's also head of the armed forces and is the only person that can declare war. Do you hear that? She is the only person that can declare war. She is the only person that can declare war. Of course, she meets with the Prime Minister first, but it is still her duty and only hers. On top of this, she is head of the Church of England. She appoints the archbishops and bishops on what basis we can only imagine. In other words, because she is the offspring of incestuous ancestors, she is allowed to rule over people's relationship with God. And by the way, she owns all the land, the seabeds, and I've shown that in my videos where even the Queen has a crown above the highways. We were recently studying a wildlife reserve thing, and it all says crown property, crown land. Or the people's relationship with God, just like the pharaohs. It's there in writing. Elizabeth II, and she's on the front page of the King James Bible, by the grace of God of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. If God really did grace her with this position, it would be nice to see the contract. You don't get any more elite in social circles than the Queen. The rich and powerful are just begging to be blessed with her astronomically wealthy presence. Tradition or not, Queenie is no innocent in anything. She asks for an extra $44 million allowance. She put on a £60 million wedding while the rest of the people were starving. Fukushima. So where does her power end and the government's begin? Well, the government puppets do all the dirty work and the Queen signs the papers for the government. Although she has more power than the majority believe, there is an even bigger power above both of these puppets. You guessed it, the private banking cartels that have a grip over the nation's money. The Queen is fine, she's the richest landowner in the world, and the bankers will always keep it that way. They have her family to thank for where they are today. The rest of us are not so lucky. And on it goes. And I'll provide a link, because there's more. How much will you put up with? You actually believe that turd has no power, and she's on a throne with all her diamonds. And he said, when I come back, I want to be a virus that wipes out all mankind. And you argue with us and Alex and people who are telling you the truth. Go look at her. You want to argue? Go argue with her. All the goth t-shirts have crowns on them, and crosses, and death skulls. All of them. There's Gotha, that's her last name. That's the painting of Gotha. Let's go see it. I already showed that to you. This painting is called Gotha. That's the same last name as the Queen. More Queen. This time she's holding a heart. That's also the Queen. That's on the highway, and that's crown. This is what Queen Gotha is into. She's a goth. Blood drinkers are goths. Not the innocent ones who are just wearing the goth t-shirts and don't have a clue. You starve, she sits on a gold throne. Look at that thing. What is that piece of garbage? Her diamonds, her throne, barking out orders, paying nobody. That's all your money. You pay for her. She feeds nobody. She never even gave so much as a piece of toast to a bum on the street. Here's a good one. Her ancestors. I think this is the Queen Elizabeth I. Another good looker. Here we go. Oh, she's holding flowers. We'll see. That's what she's holding. There you go. Order of the Garter. Garter snake. That's what the Queen's holding. Oh, look at this. Masons and their perverted one leg up, one leg down bullshit that all the rappers do. There you go. It's not a Star of David that belongs to Jewish people. It's Egyptian. It always is Egyptian. It's a pyramid obsession. Jesus obsession. All math comes from the pyramid. Why? Because God can prove himself through the pyramid codes. Why did the Aztecs say that a white guy with blue eyes delivered the math? Because it was true. That's the angelic. And why does the shroud look like Brian? Because it's all true. All politicians lie, so if they say no more wars, that means more wars. If the British royalty ate human flesh and they said they stopped, that means they're doing it even more. And that's just how it goes. Hello, girls and boys. By request, I've been asked to talk some more smack about the New World Order. You know the New World Order? The one that says right on the back of the dollar, the US dollar? Yeah, there's no denying that. They call themselves the Illuminati, and they call themselves the New World Order. So, basically, I have to give credit where credit is due. Let's face it, they couldn't do it without you. I mean, you put your hand into the fire, and you're basically so brain dead you don't feel it. So, let's make sure the sheep will know their part in this. Because almost all of the deeds and the acts that we do to this earth and to each other and to animals, they aren't actually doing it. We're doing it. And to quote James David Manning, not even the devil will try to hurt himself. So our food rations are going, they're fading, our fresh water, our animals and everything like that. We're getting to the point where we put plastic credit cards and plastic cards and bling and things and cars and another car and another truck and another trip. Stop flying and stop buying. We have the power. The farmers have all the power and the truckers have all the power. Yeah, so you know, we're hurting ourselves. We're the ones buying into all of this. The New World Order they remind me of some girl or some whore in the middle of a big fight where she pits two guys against each other. Well, that's what they do to us. While they sit in the middle and no politicians were hurt in the making of this war, they sit in the middle and they watch as we destroy each other. Now, what kind of morons are we where some rich guy in a suit says, you go over there and start killing those guys. No questions asked. Or even if they said, they stole our oil, go kill them. What are we, slaves? Yes, we're slaves. Because nobody else would do that. If a neighbor came over and said to me, the neighbor next door said, you stole his rose bushes, go kill him. So, that's what I would do? No. That's only insane people would do that. Anyways, guys are supposed to be used as pawns. It's in Kissinger or Cheney, one of those guys quoted it, that men are stupid and to be used as pawns. Now, let's always think back to the Talmud, and let's always look at the Holocaust and all those kinds of things in the World War I and II, because I have a lot of questions about the whole Israel thing, and I need people to explain it to me. Now, in Germany, Nazis killed Jews, but they were Polish Jews and Russian Jews and German Jews and everything. They didn't actually go to Israel to get the Jews, did they? Because what's this big hoopla about Israel? I'll tell you what the hoopla about Israel is. That's the place where Jesus was crucified, and it's like a holy land, a vortex of some kind, and they're guarding it. It's the hill of Golgotha. It's also known as the hill of the skull. The reason that Queen wears all her skull t-shirts and everything. Well, she doesn't wear them, but you do. So, I want to say so much more blasphemous things against religion and the police, the monarchy, the politicians. But really all credit goes to the sheeple. You guys are doing it, and we're running out of time. Did you know that they killed 9 million healthy pigs, cows, and sheep? Pregnant ones? Just because they said so? The farmers fell for it. We gotta stand by those farmers, man. Sheeple, stop buying. You look ugly in half the things that you're buying. You know what I mean? Hemp is where it's at anyway. Now, my next videos are going to be about Brian, because all that matters is the reincarnation of Brian. This is all about reincarnation, and it is all about reincarnation to them too. They are obsessed with Jesus. So, let's move on and get to the real good stuff. Commanding the angels in the name of Yahweh, exploring reincarnation, smacking you guys around a bit so you stop shopping and wake up. My family's guilty. I try to wake them up. I basically parted ways with my family because I find that they're just too brainwashed by the TV, as you all are. But at least you're here on YouTube, listening. So that's half the battle. At least you're hearing me out, and others like me out. But, I mean, if you're going to argue, well, we know where you stand. Good luck. This joke and the scam, many will come in his name. Yeah, many will come in his name. So says his enemy, the Queen of England, and the people on the running the world.